FIFA since 1998. Major corruption in the FIFA organization, man. Now, for you knuckleheads who don't know what FIFA is football to the world. We call football the National Football League, but to the rest of the world, soccer is football. FIFA is the Federation of International Football Association. Sepp Blatter has reigned supreme under FIFA since 1998. So much corruption in the world of FIFA, man. And this guy's been reelected 4 times. Now, the U.S. government has brought bribery charges and money laundering charges against Sepp Blatter. Sepp Blatter, even amidst those charges, this guy was reelected in 2015, Pierre, amidst the corruption charges. Now, FIFA finally got a brain and suspended him in October, and they banned him from all FIFA activities. But how are you under indictment for corruption, but you still get reelected? I mean, what is that all about?
In the world's largest sport, nonetheless.
So Sepp Blatter gets my number 4 on the top 5 sports moments of 2015.
Number 3.
Yeah, I struggled with this. I interchanged them. But with number 3, I'm going with Ronda Rousey, major star in the world of mixed martial arts. Rousey, man, she was undefeated, Pierre.
Yeah, dominant.
You could put her victories on a Vine. You could put her victories on Snapchat because that's how quick they were, man. Now, Ronda Rousey, she's like me. She's a woman after my heart. She's very, very, very disrespectful to her opponents. She talks so much trash, man, because she feel like I can't be beat. I'm Ronda Rousey. I know judo. I was in the Olympics. I'm Ronda Rousey. I'm borderline attractive. I'm Ronda Rousey. So
borderline? Come on, man. Ronda Rousey is attractive. Come on now.
Much like Ronda Rousey, I'm very, 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 very disrespectful. So, Ronda, when you see me in the streets, please don't put me in the chokehold. Don't try to make me tap out. You were undefeated going into your championship fight against Holly Holm. Very, very disrespectful to Holly Holm. Prior to the first bell ringing, you wouldn't even tap gloves with her. So what did Holly Holmes do? She tapped you in the face with her foot. Knocked you out. Knocked you out. Since you didn't want to tap her gloves, she tapped your face with her foot. And I'm all for being very, very disrespectful, but you gotta respect your opponent. And Ronda Rousey doesn't respect her opponents, and she paid the price for that against Holly Holm, being knocked out, on a beautiful roundhouse kick. Joe Rogan says she suffered, major damage. Haven't heard too much from Ronda Rousey since her loss. Wish her well.
I think I read something about her being okay, and I was glad to see that because she did not look good on the canvas. Getting pounded in her face after she was already knocked out. Something that they may need to look at in that sport.
Yeah, you never want to see anyone get hurt. And even though Ronda Rousey, you are majorly disrespectful to Holly Holmes. She Keisha'd you from New Jack City. She had to sing you a lullaby.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
And you were my number 3 sports story for 2015.
Number 2.
The Golden State Warriors winning their second NBA championship, defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the emergence of Steph Curry as the league MVP, along with Steve Kerr, first-year head coach. The Warriors won their first NBA championship since 1975. Got to give kudos to the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. A lot of people doubted his abilities coming into last season.
And Damien, that's funny that you say that, man, because now everybody's talking about how great he is, and he's the greatest shooter in NBA history, the greatest shooter of all time. Just this year, when he won the NBA MVP, a lot of people didn't feel like he deserved it. They say he come out of left field.
A major change in people's opinions of Steph Curry came when they won a championship. With championships comes prestige. So a lot of people's thought process changed on him. It was a time several years ago where he had, people like he has bad ankles. He doesn't play defense. Can he be a superstar in the NBA? So kudos to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors for winning the NBA championship. They're my number 2 sports story of 2015. Andre Iguodala finals MVP. And a major reason why the Golden State Warriors, in my humble, are the number 2 story is, let's be honest, people hate LeBron James, and they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James in the NBA Finals. Although LeBron was without his starting point guard, it doesn't matter to the haters. He lost.
Not to mention that he averaged a triple-double.
We'll conveniently leave that out, Pierre. The Golden State Warriors earned their championship. Steph Curry earned his regular season MVP. They had a fantastic year. Great offensive team. Great defensive team. They were my number 2 story of 2015.
Number 1.
I'm very, very, very disrespectful. So you know what my number 1 story of 2015 is. Tom Terrific and Deflategate.
It's the boss of this family you're talking to.
I love Tom Brady, man. One of the best quarterbacks who ever played the game. But that story was a major story of the number 1 sport of our time, which is the NFL. Deflategate. Give you a little background information on what I'm talking about. Deflategate, the New England Patriots versus the Indianapolis Colts in the AFC Championship game. The Colts made claims after the game that the balls weren't inflated to proper NFL levels. A lot of investigation went on about that. This spilled over into the Super Bowl, where the Patriots defeated the Seattle Seahawks, spilled over into the offseason, where Tom Terrific was suspended for 4 games. He appealed that suspension
and won.
Because Tom Brady is Tom Terrific. He has a chin, just like Peter Griffin from Family Guy. So if you got a strong chin like that, you're able to move mountains. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Terrific, the New England Patriots, Deflategate is my number 1 story for 2015.
Tom,
I love you. I love you, Tom.
To disrespect the great Tom Brady every time we take the air, man.
I don't really mean it in a hateful way. I think it's funny. And I'm here to entertain the people who listen to this show. If you got a problem with me, then you got a problem with America, man.
Listen, man, I don't mind you being who you are. What I do have a problem with you is disrespecting 2 people. Tom Brady and Kobe Bean Bryant.
Listen, how you find a way to bring Kobe Bryant's name into my top 5?
There they go. There they go.
Listen, Kobe, I love you, man. This guy right here, Pierre Banks,
that's your one.
A.K.A. In My Humble, he finds a way to bring your name up into all our conversations, man. I'm giving you my top 5. We're talking about Deflategate, and you bring up Kobe Bean Bryant.
Listen, man, all I'm saying is you always find a way to disrespect him, and right on schedule, again, you disrespect the 2 most prominent men in sports today.
How did I disrespect Tom Brady
and Kobe Bryant?
I just said how's that disrespectful? Deflategate was a major story in the most popular sport in America. So
it just feels like you're tossing dirt on his name.
How did I toss dirt on his name?
It seems like you're trying to assassinate his character.
How did I assassinate his character? It's fact. Deflategate happened. It was a major story. I don't think that's being disrespectful. Now, if you want to point out some disrespect, I just said he had a chin similar to Peter Griffin on Family Guy. Now, I think it's funny.
I mean, people like you bring store-bought potato salad to cookouts and all that kind of stuff too, man. So I just try to look past all this you say about.
Okay. I do bring store-bought potato salad to cookouts.
See what I mean,
If
America?
you buy it in a store, take it out of the container, put it in a bowl, wrap it. People don't know.
And you think I don't know the difference between store-bought potato salad and good potato salad? Are you kidding me?
The average American doesn't know if it's store-bought potato salad. Now, you and I know because Dolores Gamble Banks, God rest her soul, you might as well say she had a patent on potato salad. Her potato salad was so good that, it made me have an affinity for paprika. I never knew what paprika was. I'm like, Mom, what's this red stuff on the top of the potato salad? She was like, oh, that's paprika, baby. So now I put paprika on stuff. And then we're getting off subject.
Which is a formality on this show.
We're doing a top 5.
All right, I'm going to try to be brief with my top five. We're running out of time here on this segment. Before I begin my top five, I want to give an honorable mention to American Pharoah, the first horse to win the Triple Crown in 37 years here in the year 2015. American Pharoah would be higher on my list, except for one detail. Ain't no horses in the hood. So growing up, horse racing wasn't as important to me as some of our other sports here in these great United States of America. But I did want to give American Pharoah that shout out.
Pierre, glad you shouted out American Pharoah, first Triple Crown winner in a long time. He was truly a great story in 2015. He's going to become a stud now, going to make his owners millions of dollars, having little American Pharoah babies. But don't worry, America. You haven't seen the last of American Pharoah. He is coming to an Elmo's Glues bottle near you.
Number 5. I have the Kansas City Royals winning their first Major League Baseball title, their first World Series in 30 years. That's a long time, ladies and gentlemen. And if you ask any Royals fan or fan of North Carolina State athletics how it feels not to win a title in 30 years, it's gut-wrenching.
Bag life.
And they did it their way. As old Blue Eye said, they were down 2-0. In the 8th inning in Game 5 to the great Matt Harvey. They found a way to tie the game. Within that 9th inning, they scored there on an error to tie the game at 2. And then a few innings later, 12th inning to be exact, they were able to win by a score of 7-2, which embodied their entire season, having to fight, claw back all season long to win games, able to break that streak of 30 years without a championship. Number 4, me being a boxing man, and this is an all things sport podcast, Mayweather Pacquiao, the biggest fight in the history of the sport. This was a fight 6 years in the making. It had 4.4 million buys on pay-per-view, which is by far the record for a professional fight. The fight made $410 million in revenue. So for anyone saying that boxing is dead, boxing doesn't exist, please check your facts. Please check the facts of this fight. Look at PBC right now on network television, broadcasting fights not only on Saturdays, but on weekdays. Boxing is alive and well. Number 3. Took a page out of your book, Damien. I have the emergence of the Golden State Warriors as a power in the NBA, man, and winning their first title in 40 years. So you had the Kansas City Royals in at number 5, winning their first title in 30 years. And now the Golden State Warriors winning their first title in 40 years. And Steph Curry, again, was a guy that he didn't make a lot of people happy when he won the MVP. I myself felt like Russell Westbrook should have won the MVP. Now, no one can question that he is the best, without a doubt, the best offensive player in the league. I still feel like LeBron James is the best player in the world because he can do it on both ends, can guard multiple positions, but I digress. The Golden State Warriors deserve all the pub that they're getting. Another historic run here in 2015 at the beginning of the season. They get my number 3 slot in my all things sport top 5 for this week. Number 2, the USA women's national soccer team winning its first World Cup in 16 years. Now, the World Cup, for those of you who don't follow FIFA and soccer around the world regularly, the World Cup only happens every 4 years. So it's not like they've been having a World Cup every year, but it's the first title in the last 4 attempts for the women's team. Carly Lloyd stole the spotlight.
Yeah, Carly Lloyd, yeah, she was a beast.
3 goals in the first half of the final match with Japan. And she was able to take home the golden ball for the tournament's MVP, essentially. And then the silver boot, and Abby Wambach retired from international play. And I don't think it can be overstated what Abby Wambach means to women's soccer and to international soccer, period. She's the only person to score 184 goals in international play. You know, that's the most of anyone, male or female.
Abby Wambach, great player, great ambassador for the game. She can flat out play the sport of soccer.
A salute goes out to our women's soccer team for the job that they did up in Canada this summer. Number 1. The great Tom Brady and the New England Patriots pulling off the win in Super Bowl 49 over the Seattle Seahawks, and what I have dubbed as the call question round the world.
Play clock.